So continuing on with weeklies. Let me start this off and gotta open up my anime list. Okay, first one is always going alphabetical order. Comet Lucifer. Like I said earlier, I had that moment where that's when I realized my pet peeve, where I said, "There's all these cool things going on. Cut back to the cool things." No, keep cutting back to romance tropey
drawing things.
Huh?
Was that the point when they were cutting?
No, that's
back
Lance N Masque.
wait, what are you talking about right now?
Comet Lucifer.
Oh.
So the thing is, basically, a love triangle just suddenly appeared.
A love triangle has appeared.
And I went, because now that Feli is older, she can now recognize her feelings for MC. But then, like, red hair girl also has feelings for MC, kind of. But she's like coming to terms.
She always kind of had feelings for MC.
Yeah, no, because
I've only watched the first two episodes.
Yeah, there's a moment where Sogo just goes like, "Hey, you ran away from your like fitting for your dress," and she was like, "Well, I was waiting for my prince to save me." Yeah. And then it cuts over to like Sogo when she says that.
Yeah.
But then then she sees like Feli and Soga standing on top of the mech, and then like. She's like, oh, that's the prince and the princess, and she gets really sad. And then her fiancé, quote unquote, is looking at her feeling really sad about that. And I was like, there's this cool fight in there where I, like, you know how I do things when I'm watching weeklies that I just don't like? It's where I, like, skip every 10 seconds if I know what's going on. I would skip. Then there was a good, 5-10 minute period where it was just mechs fighting. And I stopped, and I was appreciating the art. Yeah. And then they went back. They kept cutting back to the romance. I was like, "No,
I want
get
more
that off my screen!" There's a cool moment where they show the villain in like flashbacking to when he was in war. Yeah. And this cool backstory of him in war, and then they cut back to that romance stuff, and I'm like, "There's so much interesting stuff going on here, and you're dropping the ball super hard, just like Lance N Masque." And I'll get to that in a minute. Concrete Revolution. Actually, a really interesting thing. I want you to catch up to it, Connor, because it's really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's about, this episode was about, it's more revealing what MC is now doing in the future. Mm-hmm. By showing off, these three guys who have superhuman powers but aren't using it to, do superhuman stuff with it. Interesting. And it was really funny because it shows off all of their powers, and, one person has telekinesis, but he can only pull objects.
Not push?
He can't push it. He can only pull.
That's pretty funny.
Another guy, he has electricity powers, but they heal people. So there's a part where, they see these guys robbing a woman, so they try to stop them, and the guy goes, "Time for me." Goes out, shoots electricity at them, and they all get shocked, and they go, "Oh, hey, all the pain in my body's gone. Oh, I feel great. I feel so refreshed." There's a guy who's briefly there. And it's very obvious that he doesn't stay because in they show the future part and there's only 3 of them, but in the past there's 4 of them. Okay. So they show the past, and basically his thing is he could turn into stone or he could turn into metal, but when he turns into metal, he can't move.
So he just goes statue for a bit.
But when people shoot him, he still feels it because nicking statues and stuff like that. And then the other guy, he could be he could go into objects. Yeah. So he could go into a bed and then be in between the bed.
That's kind of cool.
But the thing is, he can't do it himself. He has to accidentally fall into it.
Oh, it has to happen by accident?
Every time, I'm not sure if it's on accident, because there's a couple times he does it on purpose, but most of the time it's him accidentally falling into an object. There's a moment where, there's a giant mech about to squash him, and then he just, accidentally, phases into the mech.
And it's oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like Shadow Cat, but he can't really control it?
He can probably control it, but it's just a lot funnier to think that he just does it by accident.
It just happens sometimes. You're well, shit.
Yeah. During that whole moment where, the robbers are there, his 3 friends are doing stuff, and he just runs around and, goes into a trash can and just phases into the trash can. Moving on to Concrete Revolution, still good. Not like Kekkai Sensen, I've differentiated the two, because Kekkai Sensen was one linear story, this is 2 stories going on, and you're piecing together the 2 of them as you see they're happening.
Indeed.
Asterisk is pretty... What happened in Asterisk? That's the point in Asterisk where you just go, whoa. I think I watched Asterisk. Oh, I did watch Asterisk this week.
Something did happen.
Hanyo voice actor character, get more in depth with her character. She uses a sword, they fall into a gigantic hole.
Sounds pretty promising.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I was talking to Connor about this. Actually, I'll get to that after. Heavy Object. There was it. You know when I say there's cool stuff going on here, why do you keep cutting to the romance?
Are they doing that too?
Like, there's a part where, like, there's a more bigger-breasted, taller, bigger booty, like, mech pilot that's more popular than, like, main girl. And, like, the two guys are, like, fawning over that girl. And there's a part where, like, she has the cooler mech than her, and they're trying to compare how big their guns are and how cool their mechs are. And I'm just like, there's a war going on. Like, literally, it cuts to the this is going on. Then it cuts to the MCs, like, creeping through a forest and then seeing, like, these soldiers shoot up villagers. And I'm like, that's so interesting.
You know, I don't understand why you don't just watch pure action-heavy stuff.
No,
because it seems like every time they cut away from that, you're like, no, go back.
No, because the thing is,
it's always the stupid, silly.
Like, it's the stupid tropey stuff where it's just like I said, like, Nagi no Asakura, like, that's not action heavy.
It's true.
But I liked it when, like, I didn't like when they went to the tropey romance stuff. I just don't, like, there is a time and a place for tropey romance. And when you're telling a really cool... the thing is, when you're telling a really cool story, you can have romance. But don't make it tropey. Write it as well as you're writing that cool stuff you're writing. It's like in Gundam. Like, we're watching Gundam right now. That's stuff if, like, we're watching Gundam and then every time we're seeing, like, a Gundam fight, it just cuts to, like, some romance, like, love triangle bullshit stuff going on.
Like, imagine if Blonde Girl and that really, like, the dude, you know the dude who's always, like, questioning the main character's authority?
Yeah.
That really obnoxious guy? Imagining it's just him being tsundere for the main girl.
Like, it just cuts back to that constantly. Like, you have a cool mech fight, and then it just cuts to that. Or, like, you have the cool pseudo-politics going, then cut to that, and then...
The problem is, I really wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't.
See, you wouldn't mind, but that's happened. You've seen that before, right? Like, you've seen, it's like the character who's really, like, angry all the time, but, like, he has a soft spot for this one girl, right?
Yeah.
But, like, everything else in Gundam, sorry, that's not even in Gundam, I just made that up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everything in Gundam is, like, a lot of stuff you see is just weird. It's, like, it's maybe a situation you've seen before, but something's really off about it, and it's mostly because the main character is in, like, a lot of those scenes. Or is he the main character? I mean,
you're also obsessed with seeing things you haven't seen before.
Yeah, but...
I'm gonna cut to this, where K is so good, where, like...
I just call that good writing, honestly.
Where, like, the next thing I remember is K, and there's so many moments where, like, the relationship between him and Neko is just so, like, it's well written. I like that well written. That I don't mind when they just cut to Neko, like, having super friendly relationships with Kuro and Shiro. Like, I like that. I like that. And then cutting back to, like, the action-heavy stuff. Because that's what happened today, like, in this week's K, where there's a part where literally 4 people are going up against the entirety of 3 clans and somehow winning, even though he's the 5th king, but apparently he's stronger than the 2nd king. But I don't mind that. I don't mind that. But, like, there's a moment where, like, it's just cutting to them just, like, fighting and doing the cool action scenes, and then cutting back to, like, the relationship between Shiro, Kuro, and, like, Neko. And I'm like, that's the stuff I don't mind, is write it well. Write it as well as you're doing all the other stuff. And that's my whole issue with that. Like, if they wrote that relation stuff as well as they were writing a lot of their lore stuff, I would like Nagi no Asakura 10 times more.
Still can't say until you finished it.
Kagewane. Did we watch the last night?
What is that?
I think we did, but we forgot about it.
Isn't there a newer one, though?
There's a new one that came out today, but we watched last week's. No, that's the monster one.
Oh.
Wasn't this episode, like, I'm trying to remember it now, because it was, like, we watched just a week ago.
We did watch it. What was this one? Oh, the wedding on the ship.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. They used sonar to communicate with the giant.
Yeah, and I remember we kept joking
Arctic
around like, "Where's the
beast.
flamethrowers?"
Yeah, just bring them out.
Yeah, Chicago One is still interesting. Like, it's one of the best it's one of the best shorts out there right now because we just laugh every time, even though I don't think we should.
Yeah. It's funny.
Speaking of shorts, Komori-san 2 minutes. Actually, there was actually some development this week, and I was like, okay, that's nice. Where they introduced like a dude character.
Well, that's cool.
And I was like, cool, they might be building up a relationship between main girl and dude character, even though main girl is like 2 times his size. Lance N Masque, Connor, what you've not watched Lance N Masque, but you saw the couple minutes that I was watching Lance N Masque. Tell me about your impressions on
I
those.
already told you about that.
No, just go again.
The Shota thing?
Yeah, describe to Dawson the scene.
That girl looked like someone who'd walk behind you if you dropped this open prison, okay? Alright?
Okay.
And she walks up to the main character. I'm not sure if it's from behind him or something, but isn't he in the bath?
He's in the bath.
She comes in naked. She's way older than his ass. He's like a little kid,
Yeah.
right? She's like a full-grown, middle-aged adult. And she picks him up and like just pulls her to her face. And they're about to fucking lock lips. And main character looks uncomfortable as fuck.
Okay.
And then she continuously recites the line, "Will you be mine? Have you decided to be mine?"
The thing I don't understand about Lance N Masque
What is
is
it?
no. Everything I've heard about it makes me think it's an extreme parody.
That's the thing.
That's not obviously a parody.
That's the thing. Where I agree with you. There's so much about it where, like, there's so much cool, interesting stuff where they go, "Hey, that maid is one of the strongest knights out there. She's called the Lance of Blood and Roses something." And I was like, that sounds awesome. And like, look, these are the 4 holy lancers. I'm like, that's awesome.
Well, that's the kind of stuff you're into.
And then little girl
Yeah.
comes in and just goes, "I want to see Yotaro." And I'm like, you did not give a shit about him for 5 episodes. You literally, actually, every episode, you talk about how much you don't care about him, and suddenly you now care now that he's gone.
I just every time I hear about it, I'm just like, this sounds like it is
You know what's
most
okay.
definitely purposefully making fun of.
So that's the thing.
So
Where
many
I was
wrong
reading it on Reddit, and literally it feels like they have a plot, and then they realized that no one was watching their show, so they said, "I don't care anymore.
Fuck it."
Like, hey, hobo off the street, write me a story."
Huh.
And then they animated that.
Just going with it.
Gundam.
Raise
Yo,
Flash.
So they think it's going to turn into, what's it called? Gurren Lagann 2.0.
Wait, really?
No, remember we talked about it? We were
Oh.
like, oh yeah, that's Kamina.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Not current 2.0. It's just
Wait, no,
the
it's
white-haired
like-
dude was going full Kamina
Yeah,
this
there's a lot of
episode.
Kamina on this one.
Also, I was getting weird Firefly
Yeah.
This is my
feelings.
favorite of the week, I have to
like-
say.
I like Yutari Mono.
I don't like where it's going. I
That
don't
was-
want the old material reference
I don't-
shit.
I don't think that's going to keep happening. From what the preview looked like, I didn't think it was going to.
Hopefully.
But
Well, part
I
of that is
enjoyed it
the part
a
of
lot.
that whole episode was Kuon's backstory, but we'll get that in a
yeah, I liked having an episode heavy on the
bit.
time spent between Kuon and main dude.
Yeah, I like Gundam too. I really enjoy Gundam every week. It comes again. That was the surprise of the season for me, where I wasn't thinking I was gonna like Gundam, and then I liked Gundam.
Yeah.
I like how they make the main character look cute this episode, honestly.
He's so
In
kawaii.
Gundam?
Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna go
He
hang
making,
made sandwiches for
making
everyone.
box lunches
He's
for
gonna go,
everyone.
like, deliver it to everybody.
Giving him
And then he's
This
like,
is the same character who, like, popped 3 people mercilessly in one
and then
episode.
like childhood friend girl is like, "Aren't you afraid to die?" And then he shows her like the little like friendship bracelet that she gave him, and she's like, "Oh."
He's like,
And
I
you just, like,
have this.
And
This
There we
there's a lot of hints at him being autistic this episode.
go. Oh yeah, how terrible he is at writing.
Like the 5-year-olds are better than him.
Yeah.
And, like, he has trouble talking to people. He has to, like, pause before every time he, like, responds.
And then he just doesn't respond and then eats his seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gundam's good. I guess we can't really talk about it more until more plot points come up, but it's building up to something. They're going to
Well,
do
more on the whole Kamina thing. I really like the point where he's like, like, why do you keep doing all this dangerous shit? I like Biscuit. He's awesome.
Mhm.
Because it's like, why do you keep doing this? It's so stupid and dangerous. Like, we could do other like things here. We have other choices. He goes, no, I don't have a choice. I have to make him happy, right?
Yeah.
Like, he keeps expecting things of me, and I can't betray that.
Yeah, he's basically trying to live up to his vision of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noragami. End of the arc.
We're talking about that. Okay.
It was a good arc.
That was a really fun arc.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what
everyone
goes
died.
now.
So much fun.
Noragami is really impressing me this season.
Yeah, and we're gonna get new characters. I think it's
new characters.
So I read the manga to finish off because apparently the OVAs are covering this stuff. There's a lot of hints towards this new guy because he's always in the background, like staring at girl.
Interesting. Wait, who?
Tail girl.
Oh, Chi. I can't remember her name right now.
I don't remember. But yeah,
I'm thinking Chisagi, but it's not.
But Noragami is always impressive.
Yeah.
It was a nice conclusion, and then her having to kill her own family members was a nice like going back because
she killed
the Phantom. No, because remember she went to go kill the Phantom afterwards. The Phantom that was created from all the family members.
That Phantom, it wasn't created from all.
Because they were all
loose?
no, because they were all yelling out Bishamon's name to like stop and ask her to stop, and she just killed them all.
She just did it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, because remember, even the lady was like, "It's too late to save them. We have to kill them."
I don't remember this, but I'll take your word for it.
It was a kind of an emotional moment. It's been a week.
It's been a while.
One Punch Man?
What about it?
I'm not actually caught up on One Punch.
Nothing happened this episode.
This.
This episode was basically taking the stuff that Murata added and then just
animating it,
whacking that off for a bit. Yeah, it was okay. Like the fight between, I like how they kind of messed with String Mustachio a bit, but I enjoyed his character.
Mm.
Like his sword actually bends to the shape. It's not him like moving the sword so fast it looks like that.
Yeah, it's cool. That
was kind of interesting.
But besides that, there's
they are really stalling on that meteor.
It's coming.
It'll be next episode, I'm sure.
Yeah. Showman Sample. I actually enjoyed this episode. Yay! I actually enjoy all the episodes.
Also, quick thing. They showed a lot of S-Class heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And Fubuki.
Yeah, Fubuki and stuff like that. Showman Sample. I really like this episode. They go to Showman Land, or Commoner Land, where everything is like this. It's like a Disneyland, but like the commoners version, where they're walking into a McDonald's and then they're trying to order from McDonald's.
I gotta watch that, man.
No, but the best part is like the main character eats the burger and it's the best burger he's ever had, and he puts it down and he just starts ranting about how the burger's too good for a McDonald's.
It's like, no,
and everyone's like really scared. And then the best part is that they like. I'm now on board with like the Lolly character being the best character in that show, and like I'm not the person who's like Lollycon or something like that.
Yeah.
But like,
dude, I like the character.
No, they had so many great moments because like she wasn't in this. Like she didn't go to the field trip with them, so she stayed back. But she didn't know that they went on a field trip. So like it opens up with her like hugging the plushie of like MC that she has, and just staring up at the plane as it's leaving. And then there's a moment where she's like walking to like his house, like no emotion, just holding the little doll. And then like the maid's like, hey, they aren't he isn't home. They went to other place. Then the last scene is her like cut to her, and she's like, she has like little like plushie in like a bag and like in a position like this.
Yeah.
And like the maid's just like, where are you going? And like she's just like stuffing the bag with like all these other trinkets that she'll take with her to Showman Land.
Oh, she's trying to go visit.
Yeah. Main character.
Dude, honestly, my favorite moment with her is like the riddles.
Oh yeah.
Like she's like this super genius, but she can't get any of the little riddles they do.
Yeah. Calvary is really good. They introduced the next villain, and it's like this punk guy who his weapon is a bat that like is basically like a bat that like has chains in it, so like when he goes like that, it turns like it's kind of like a whip bat, like the the whip cane in Bloodborne, but it's a bat. but like he has a grudge against swordsmen, so he walks up to main character and like smashes a bottle over his head and like spits in his face.
Yeah.
And like apparently if main character even like defended himself, he would have been expelled. Like that's how much everyone like that's how much like the rules are so stringent on him, is that like he
God,
can't.
I hate that plot, but okay.
But his parents hate him so much that he can't even defend himself. Like
I know, but that's just like, feel sorry for our MC. He has it so hard. That's how you do it wrong.
oh, and then they introduced a new girl character.
I know, I
She
like
was
this
really
character,
cool. There's a really sexual moment between the MC and the like new girl character where like he's teaching her how to do like some sword stance and like moving her body, and then it goes into this really like you could take it out of context and it's one of the lewdest scenes you could ever see out of context. But like it's him like rubbing her body and like moving it to motions and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And her like moaning. And
Is
it was
it a new toothbrush scene?
no.
Okay.
And then it comes out that he has to fight her, but then they both have their reasons to like get to the top. Da 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 da. So I'm kind of interested where that's going.
Okay.
What's going on next? It's the Lovely Bones one. It's okay. They didn't focus on the main characters. They focus on like an annoying side character. Basically, this is the plot. Character sees a lady throw a letter into the water. The letter gets blown back in the wind and lands on the bridge, but the lady doesn't notice and just leaves. Girl picks it up, reads the letter, thinks it's a suicide letter, spends the rest of the episode trying to get in contact with the MCs to try to figure out if this is a suicide letter or find out where this girl is. So like she doesn't commit suicide so she could save her life. Da 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 da. And like the teacher and a police officer are helping out. And the teacher literally straight up goes like, why are you stopping her from committing suicide? It's her choice. Like,
Yeah.
And like this guy
Damn,
basically making a
cold.
whole entire point about like how like if somebody commits suicide, it's their point, like their choice. Why should we make the choice for them? And making a really valid point about that. Like I was like, that's a really asshole thing to say, you sleazebag teacher. But you know what? You have a point there. And then it turns out it wasn't a suicide note.
Naturally.
It was my husband died like 3 years ago. I found a new person. I'm saying goodbye to you.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like it was really funny because like Sakurako just like went off to go by herself, and then MC is like, I don't know where she is. She went to the Lost Child Service. He went to the Lost Child Services
And
used
she was
that.
there.
No.
Damn
and
it, you reminded me of the anti-suicide thing I sent you guys.
No. She wasn't there. He used the Lost Child. Like,
Oh.
your guardian
find
is
it.
here. We'll get the Perfect Insider. Anti-Magic Academy is really rapey this week. Like, really rapey.
I would.
I just want to end off on that. It was really rapey, and
Did they have a generic rape villain yet?
that was the generic rape villain this
Oh
week.
Yeah.
my god.
Where basically,
So, sword art or
basically, there's the sniper. Every time she encounters this dude, she just like she gets triggered and like collapses on the ground and like can't move because of like some stuff. And then they cut back. Apparently there was an accident where like she accidentally killed her brother because her brother grabbed like her grandfather's gun and was like, yo, this gun's so cool. And she's like, no, don't touch the gun, and try to take the gun away from him.
don't play with swords.
And then they it accidentally shot and killed the brother. And then this guy the childhood friend walks up and like literally goes, hey, you killed your brother? Wow, that's brutal. You should feel guilty about that. You know what? I want you, and I'm gonna guilt trip you about killing your brother for the rest of your life. And then that's why she collapses every time he sees him.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like her like tied up, and then like, or not her tied up, but like her in like this dress, and then she's being like super triggered hard by this dude, and he starts stripping to like rape her and stuff like that, and then MC comes and saves her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like
that is the edgiest shit I've heard in a long while.
That is pretty much the same as the second arc of Sword Art.
yeah.
Like
Young Blackjack. I'll continue with this. Young Blackjack I was laughing so hard because they did a moment where the two doctors are sitting there, and then they're like, no, this is my patient. No, this is my patient. And then they go, no, it's our patient. And then it flashes to like this shonen scene where both of them have their shirts off. They're like glistening and like staring off of each other. Then it just cuts back to them in scrubs, like operating on the guy.
That's great.
But then, so basically, what happens is like there was a character who got shot in the throat 2 episodes back. Last episode they healed him. This episode he woke up and started walking away because he didn't know where he was, and so they're all going off. His commanding officer falls and finds like, "Hey, stop! You're safe. You're safe." And like literally like. And the guy goes, "Oh, I'm safe. I get to go home. I get to eat sausages." The first thing you think in your mind when you hear that is
he's about to get shot.
He literally steps on a mine and blows up into a million pieces. His commanding officer gets PTSD because of this and sees like a Vietnam soldier come in, and like even though he's trying to escape from becoming a Viet Cong, he goes, "No, that's the enemy." And then calls the strike force to bomb the peaceful village that they're in. But the thing is that the guy is shot, so they have to save the guy's life. So what proceeds is them operating as they go 30 minutes until the planes arrive. But then like they go, "Hey, the planes are coming." And then they go, "We're not moving from this spot because he's going to die." And then they go, they just go like, "You're going to die too." He's like, "So what? We're gonna save this man." and then it ends with them down to the wire. The bombs are dropping. All the characters are like, "No, they got blown up." And then you see the 3 doctors that were operating on him, like yelling and running away as the explosions are happening, and they're just going, "Oh!" as they're carrying him on a stretcher. And I'm just like, "Oh my god."
This show is ridiculous.
It's so stupid. And then it ends with like a whole thing where like they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't ask who that doctor was. Huh, I guess whatever." And then young Blackjack leaves, goes back to Japan, and then it does a little monologue. It's like, he didn't know that, but that like at that moment they will never be friends again because apparently that guy, because they named the guy off later on.
Yeah.
And then I read on Reddit where everyone's like, "Yeah, that guy's like the basically the the anti-Blackjack in the Blackjack series."
Okay.
So at this point in time, they were the same.
Yeah.
But now they're no longer the
split
same.
from that.
They've now diverged paths.
Okay.
Because Blackjack is going around healing people illegally.
Yeah.
He's going around killing people because he believes that pain is not worth it. You should just die. So he goes around euthanizing people.
That's
Illegally
totally the
illegally?
logical conclusion.
Yeah, he convinces them.
Oh, okay.
But it's black market stuff. But yes, Utaramono is good this week.
Comfy out of 10.
Comfy out of 10. The best thing is, we said it earlier.
They're pushing a little bit too much on the stuff before, but
which I feel like since we're watching a sequel, but like a sequel, quote unquote, we should have watched that first one. So I'm gonna eventually watch that, and I'll just catch you guys up on whatever we miss.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I still would have really liked this episode, even if I didn't get the context of what happened.
Nice.
I like some harem characters out of the harem context.
Yeah, because those 2 characters are harem characters out of the harem.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. Before we go into Perfect Insider, I do have to, since we're halfway through the season, we're low on time, so we're probably going to just do a really quick Perfect Insider talk. But here's what I have to say about this season. I'm watching 18 right now. Bottom 5, lowest is Lance N Masque, followed by Comet Lucifer, Anti-Magic Academy.
Blackjack, you said. You said Blackjack after that?
Yeah, I think Blackjack.
And then Asterisk.
Yeah, Asterisk, I guess. It's not bad, but I mean, there's a lot better. The thing about this season that I'm thinking about is that comparative to the summer season, I thought overall was good.
Yeah.
There was not as much hate that I was getting from that season, except for Kusen Madoshi Kusen. But this season has a lot of highs, but also lows. For example, for me, summer season was in the middle, or it kind of balanced out, in a very middling. But here, the good stuff is really good.
Yeah.
But the bad stuff is really bad. And that's what I'm feeling about this season. Where you guys are only watching the good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm watching the shit.
I'm only watching a couple things, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's what I want to say about the season. Top 5 easily is the 3 that we watched today. Utaramono, Gundam. Perfect
Perfect
Insider.
Insider.
I like One Punch personally.
I like One Punch too. I
Yeah.
put Cavalry up there as well. I like
Really?
Cavalry.
Top 5?
Over Noragami.
Okay, never mind. Comet Lucifer, Cavalry. Yeah, I like those. Showman Sample. Like, those are really good.
Wait, did you say Comet Lucifer?
No, I meant Concrete.
You meant Concrete. Okay, that's what I thought.
But so, this week...
Because you can't put it on your bottom 5 and your top
So
5.
let's do this really fast.
Like 9.
So let's do this really fast. So, because I think I have to leave soon.
Yeah.
Perfect Insider this week.
First half of the episode was recap
Wrap
and
But it was a lot.
Second half, they just answered 2 questions like right
Well,
away.
I like that first half because they were presenting the more like important evidence comparative to last time.
You're very certain as to what's important.
Yeah, very certain to what's important, and apparently, like the guy was like, "This is enough evidence to figure this out."
Apparently so.
No, they said if they figured it out, they'll know who the murderer is.
Yeah.
Basically. Not the whole like this is enough evidence.
Yeah.
But they just answered a question for you. They go, "Bam, she killed her parents. Uncle helped her." And then what was the other thing? they answered?
Subite F. Everything is F.
Oh yeah, everything turns 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something turning
What does that
15
mean?
years old.
I don't know.
So it's 15 years after the incident.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, everything is 15, so...
But what do you guys think?
15 and 7 are 2 important numbers at this point.
Why 15 and 7? God damn it! Computer science! Octal and hex.
Oh yeah, huh. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are just kind of arbitrary counting systems. So.
I know, but like, they're the more bigger... Like, hex... Like, the reason why Subite F, where I was thinking, like, why F? And then when I thought about it, I'm like, F is 15 in hexadecimal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of, like, that's a huge thing in computer
Yeah.
science. They're really harping on this, like, programming stuff.
Yeah.
I like the bit where, the 2 characters are just like, hey, we'll cover this up,
If
but
you let us solve the mystery.
if you let us solve this murder.
Yeah, we won't tell people about the murder unless we get to solve the murder.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make another like super contrived, well, it's not even more contrived. What's it called? Realization. 7, if you turn it to binary, is 3 ones, and there was 3 personalities in her from the beginning.
Oh.
And now she has 7.
I don't know if we could really talk theories on this one,
And then
because
15 is just 4 ones.
there's really no new evidence, but more answers. So I like where this is going, personally.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
I'm really
more.
interested. Like, I told you guys this while we were watching it. I kind of want them to solve the mystery, like, episode 9. And then, like, there to be a killer, and then for half to, like, deal with the killer.
This wasn't really a mystery episode, I feel.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
an answer. Like, it's Higurashi, where you have question episodes and answer episodes.
But in something like this, I prefer like just adding clues in every episode and stuff.
Slowly building.
Yeah, and
Bit by
they
bit.
built that part where they're like, everything is F. Okay, now what does that mean? Look, there's someone going to the roof.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And they are saying like, oh, now we're gonna stay and work on the case for a while.
Yeah.
I like it because they're like, all superfluous characters, please leave.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
Let's get them all out of here. I mean, they weren't really relevant either.
Yeah.
Before either. They were like
Also,
hardly
the
there.
old lady purposely kept it like very vague when they asked if her husband was there.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I saw him holding her hands after she killed them, but it, like she didn't exactly explain that he was in a position where he was guiding her hands to stab them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a weird relationship right there.
Yeah, it's the whole... all those 4 characters are strange.
I mean, we know why she did it, right?
Yeah.
To free their soul.
No, it's because they wanted to stop being stuck with the parents and stuff, and
Yeah.
they wanted to go live off on their own.
She needed to be free. She should just go swimming.
Now I really think they've been banging like all this time.
He just erases all the evidence of him.
Something
going in.
like that. Yeah, he runs the place, so. And
That's
he's like
awesome.
had her in his custody for a long time. Why does he get her custody again?
Because she's in a locked room scenario, so like
But that's not how jail works, is it?
it's not. But she gets a free card because she's super smart.
They're like, damn, let's just milk this jailed genius.
Yeah, she's not gonna move.
I guess it does sort of help the corporations around the world and stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. They have NASA coming in, so they have to pretend she's not dead. So
Yeah.
I was right about that knife. I'm almost certain it's the same knife.
Oh yeah, the knife that stabbed the director is the birthday present.
I like this way of storytelling, where not only are they like giving you questions, but they're
I thought it
progressively.
was almost too soon to give you those answers.
There's probably more coming up. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. we have more pieces of stuff to come.
But overall, there's not a lot to talk about for this one.
They didn't waste much time on this episode.
There was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
it ended.
They did a quick recap, but they were also like at the same time building up sort of a character relationship.
Yeah. I like that where it ended, and then you were like, "Whoa, it's over."
Yeah.
Wow, that felt short.
Yeah.
Granted, we did take a bunch of breaks while we were watching it to like
True.
talk about things. So
Usually I only get that with Noragami. That's
Noragami's
the
too
one
short.
thing that I weirdly, just every time we watch an episode of, I'm like, damn, it's over already? Like, seriously?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
I get that a lot with One Punch, but it's personal.
Yeah. Well, it's weird, because I like Noragami, but I don't love Noragami.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about the way it's written and the way the show progresses and just the way everything fits together. It just goes by so quick.
Yeah.
Okay, we really need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last minute thoughts?
Tune in for second half of our watch next week.
Hopefully it's less salty.
Fallout 4 needs to improve, or they didn't need to touch their
Oh,
dialogue
did I
system.
mention to you guys that I had my first game-breaking bug the other day?
Oh, what happened?
I was doing a Brotherhood of Steel quest line. I was about to start the big Brotherhood of Steel quest line, and they take me up in a vertibird and start flying me, and every time the vertibird gets to a certain frame, the game freezes. And I retried multiple times doing different
Can you
things.
not do that quest
So
line?
I can't do the Brotherhood of Steel quest line right now, because every time I try to get in the vertibird and have these guys fly me to where I need to go.
And you were so excited about that.
Yeah, they were literally taking me to the place I was most excited to see.
Did you get a teleporter yet?
In this game. I don't have a teleporter yet.
Oh my god.
Are they great?
Well, I haven't used it yet, but I just got a teleporter.
Ooh.
So, like, for a reason that you know.
Yeah, of course. Are you past me in the main storyline now?
Probably then. That is the main story.
Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, Fallout's great.
Fallout's great. Tune in next week. Support Indivisible. That's about it.
Yay.
Goodbye and good
Bye,
night.
everyone.